I want to ask you a question, Frank. You
Yes,
meditate
Nilima.
full day? You meditate full day? Do you
No.
meditate full day?
I mean, full day in the sense, yes, I try to apply spirituality in daily life. That is, for me, the real purpose. But I might meditate a couple of hours a day, but I try to live in meditation.
Tell no how to do that. How do
Sorry, Nilima?
how means how?
But
How?
whatever you do in life, you understand that it's all is God. There is no God and not God, so it's all God. So when somebody is doing something to you which is disturbing you, I would like to share. I was reading recently because I practiced Chinet Song, which is a abdominal massage, and when you press on the abdomen, you connect with some emotional chart because we have many blockages in the system, some samskaras, memories, and a lot in the abdomen. So when we press on the abdomen, it makes some pain, and it can create some kind of discharge, and it can be painful. And we say second step would be to feel maybe confusion, and then after it's integration, right? So if you would use life as a massage, when somebody or a situation is triggering you, it's like a acupressure point on the abdomen, which is triggering an emotional disturbance in you. So when something is disturbing you, instead of trying to control it outside, to suppress, or either to suppress it or control it by expressing outside or controlling the person or the situation, just to feel it. Like in Chinet Song, I tell to people, relax, breathe, let it be as it is. Don't try to do anything, just feel it. So same.
Physical pain. I'm
Yeah,
asking about physical
no,
pain.
we press the
With the feet.
abdomen. No, I'm saying we press the abdomen, but it is felt as a physical pain, but it is triggering some emotional charge in the abdomen, right? Which is memories. So if you use life in the same way like a massage, you use life as a massage. So when there is a situation or person who is triggering you, you do the same as a session of Chinet Song. When I tell to people, relax, just let it be as it is. Don't try to push it away, to manipulate. Just allow it to be. So same, when somebody tell you something which is not pleasing you, you feel disturbance, relax. Don't do anything with it. Stay with that. Let it be. Because it's like you are the consciousness who gives space to that baby to be to express itself. Otherwise, we again suppress it, we keep it inside. And again, or outside by expressing in anger. So to learn to take life as a massage is a meditation, because you recognize every people and situation is the hand of God in disguise. We come to bless you by pressing your abdomen of your emotional memories or trauma to release you from that. So to learn to use life as a massage in that sense. Do you understand, Nilima?
Supposing in my case, I'm saying my pain of my leg is not ending. I'm trying. It is a divine plan. All that I say, but it is there.
Yeah, but
How
this
do
is
I go about
yeah,
the situation?
no, but I don't know if you were listening. I was speaking about so physical plane we can apply also, but more about triggers in life when something happens. Like somebody tell you some bad words and you feel irritated. It happens, no, to everyone.
Doesn't happen at this stage now. After so much, doesn't happen.
Yeah, but it can happen, right? So by
Yeah.
meditation, I mean to stay in this attitude of surrender, and to first we can dedicate our work and action to God or to consciousness, to bring back to stay centered, and to dedicate our life to that. That is meditation, right? And also pain, you can physical pain dedicate to life, you call it as you like. You devote yourself. It means you don't keep it on your shoulders. If you keep it on your shoulder, what it means? You put more fire on your me, who is the owner of pain, right? But if this me, you give it to a higher power, consciousness, God, or whatever, then where is your me? Who is the one who is disturbed by pain? So the problem is not pain, the problem is me. You understand? Without me, there is no problem. There is pleasure, pain, whatever, birth, death, but plus, minus. But without me, there is no problem. Because it needs the me to define what is good and bad. It needs the me to say what is pain and pleasure, right? To define that. But if they're in deep sleep, do you feel pain in deep sleep? So, because what?
In different world. In different world.
But yes, but why? Why? Because me is not there. Me is not there.
Not there. Mind is not there.
Or me, yes, the ego, you know. Mind and ego so it says, you know, Baba Jamal Singh says that it is in during deep sleep the prana and mind are like in a tunnel in the somewhere located in the lower part of the in the abdomen somewhere, and it is a place where then you can't feel anything, like when you have anesthesia somehow. So that's why in deep sleep you don't feel anything. But it's
anything.
Yes, but it's not. This is what is Baba Jamal Singh explained in Advaita Vedanta. They often take this pointer of deep sleep, but deep sleep is not really. It's a pointer, but it's still a state which is where the prana senses are locked. So that's why there is no experience. We know we are there, but we don't experience anything, or we experience emptiness or nothing. But it feels so good, right? It's like a reflection of ourself, which is not in this system of pain and pleasure. Who feel pain and pleasure? Only the prana and the body and mind and ego, right? So if you raise your awareness beyond this, then you realize that what you are never feel pain. This is a key dilemma. Why pain, and not only physical pain, but emotional, all kinds, they are there to keep us bound in the dream of time and space, of pain and pleasure. And if life is coming to trigger us with that, either we keep putting more fire on me, on the ego, and that, oh, why, yeah, like that, and then we continue, we confirm the dream of that pain and pleasure. But if we learn, we take it as a reminder. It's like a red light or a bell in the temple. A bell is ringing and tell you, gling, 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 you're dreaming, gling, gling, gling. So we bring back your attention to consciousness, to God, to Master, to whatever you like, in the way you like. But that's why you have always a choice to bring back your attention back, or outside, to keep it outside and keep complaining and this and that and that. So we can see it that way. You understand? So then it becomes a meditation. Life becomes a meditation because when you're enough tired of being caught up in the wheel of pain and pleasure and so on, the more you are tired, the better, because your strength to go back to the center, to where nothing is happening in your true self, then the more the strength will be, the more the will of the soul, because there is a will of the soul and the will of the mind. So the mind with its will bring you outside, on outer object, and physical body, which is also an outer object. Emotions, thoughts, they are also outer object for consciousness. But the will of the soul can bring us back to our own self, to consciousness, beyond these three worlds of physical and emotional and physical, or astral, yes, whatever we name it. But whatever we witness, whatever we see, we cannot be that. We are that which is seeing, the object perceived. We are the subject. And we are not even the subject. We are beyond subject and object. So that is the impersonal consciousness, or God self, or whatever. So it's all coming back to that always. But we need reminders, so that's why we gather together. Sometimes we read books or this or that. We need reminders because we have been so trained in that direction, the outer direction on outer object, that it's difficult to reverse. It's like my first guru was saying, when a tail of a dog, if it is curved, you can put it in a tube for several days, but when you take it out, it becomes curved again. So it's just to say how the habit of the attention to be outside on outer object, to be identified, is so strong that it's difficult to reverse that, to change, and to realize that we are not what we think we are. Poonam, namaste, welcome. Yes, good morning. California. Yes.
Time?
Huh?
8:30
8:30.
Yes.
Sunday.
morning.
Yes. So anything to share or to ask? Anyone?
Where are you right now?
Sorry?
Where are you?
In pure consciousness.
That lovely. How do you remember?
But I cannot move. It has no legs, no arms, so it cannot move. So it's not possible to go out of it, because you are that which has no legs and no arm. So where can you go? Yes, we just believe we are this. Huh?
You tell about how to remain in pure consciousness.
By being what
In
you are.
work,
Yes.
in day-to-day life, from morning till night.
By doing what I said before, to do that, you know. You use whatever tools you have. In your case, you have this mantra and your master, so you use this. You can use that as a remembering, you know, Simran. Simran means to remember. So because we forget, so we use Sumeran to remember, right, who you are. So you can do your mantra and you can connect that with bring back attention to consciousness, to awareness, to when you do your work, whatever, and to center yourself back, you know, and to look at when you do it by sitting in day, sometime in the day, you sit and you look, the mind, the emotions, the feeling, whatever, you look, and then you withdraw your attention to the one who is looking, witness consciousness, and then you stay there, quiet, peaceful. You can use some other tools which you have, remember your master, whatever, but you can do that, and then you get up and you keep this state in working, and you cultivate that. It's your garden. So you every day you put water, so maybe it's small seeds, small plant first, and then it growing. So you cultivate your garden of being more aware, and create more space between events and your response, and shifting from reaction to response. That is a job, because usually we react quickly, you know, because there is no space in between. We react. But to learn to have more space, and instead of reacting, you respond. So the more you are aware of what you are, of awareness, the more there is space, and then you are not so identified. So use it like that daily, and then sometimes you sit, and then you do your work, or whatever you do like that. Yes. And also with this awareness that in truth you never left home, because home has no legs and no arms. We just believe to be this little mammifer with legs and arms who are crawling on earth. So we believe we are only that. But what we are is much bigger than that, and it has no time and space, so we cannot live that. We cannot live what we are. It's not possible. And sometimes that is what is bothering, because there is something which in us which does not want to live, because we want not to experience pain. Pleasure, we are fine with pleasure, but not pain. So something in us is not really willing to go through what is not pleasant. So we could translate that by not really like to live. That creates a separation, this movement of separating what is good and bad. We create duality that very moment by selecting what is good and bad. So there is a part of the mind which is useful to use the practical mind, who knows what is good and bad. You know, the fire is burning, I don't put my hand in there. This is a practical mind we use. It's like a tool. But when we start to identify with it and judge at the emotional level and the subtle level, and we create duality. The practical mind does not create duality. We just use it as a calculator, a machine that we use and put back like that. But the identified mind, when he loses itself in the game of good and bad, he creates separation by preferring pleasure rather than pain. Then duality is created, and I separate myself from the Creator, from God, from my true nature. So I'm doing that. I create duality through the emotional, the identified mind. I create duality, and I feel, oh, I'm so alone, and where is my Creator? Where is my whatever, like that. So we have to understand also, we can have some knowledge how it works, how we create that, by not embracing fully things as they are. If we welcome everything as it is, we learn to, like we did in meditation, we learn to sit and let everything as it is. You know, every emotion, feeling, thought has the right to be as it is, without judging them good or bad. So if we stay like that, then where is judgment? There is no place. So that's why consciousness has no judgment on anything. So we can look, observe, meditate on that, contemplate how we create ourselves duality and separation by having a preference. The fall of the garden from Adam and Eve is to have a preference, like Buddha said, desire. You know, what people came to him and to ask him, what is Buddha, what is the origin of suffering? And he said, desire. A simple word, desire of preference, so to have a preference. So if we have a preference on what is pleasant rather than was not pleasant, then we create duality at that very moment when we have a preference. So we have to observe carefully how the mind works and how we create that, and we can withdraw our attention to our own awareness and to look at the mind, how it works, observed in daily life. We do it. It's not, oh, we are victims and where we have come down and we fell down from the paradise and now we are lost. We are creating every moment duality by not welcoming things as they are, by having preference. So consciousness has no preference. It welcomes everything as it is. This is, we can call it unconditional love, because there is no preference, no desire in that sense, like Buddha said. Does it make sense? So this we you know, it's good to know it, but I found out after many years of in this field that it's also we test ourselves in daily life, or rather life will test us again and again and again through relationships, circumstance, how we react. How much we are going back again in this separation, in this to have a preference for anything. Again, we have to distinguish between the practical mind who has the right to have preference for sake of practical things. That is different. But the emotional self or conditioned mind who has a preference, that is what is making a problem. So it's not the practical mind is a tool which we can use, which does not bring problem. But this is we confuse both. So it takes time to see that, because they have been like hand and gloves for so long time. So we don't know what is what. Anything anyone want to share or ask or say? Because I will not stop talking otherwise.
I want you to talk.
Hello, Riyad. Yes.
Hey Frank, how's it going?
Good.
Long time no see.
I will see, because I can't see your face. Ah, okay.
See my face?
Yeah, we met in Tiru, right?
Yeah, we went to Caesar's satsangs together there.
Ah, yes. Oh, nice to see you. Long time.
Yeah, it's good to see you, man. How's it going?
Yes, good. Yes.
Oh, nice. I saw your ad on Facebook, so I thought I would check out what's going on. It's really nice you're doing these meetings. It's good.
Mm.
Yes, very nice to
You were
see you.
talking about...
Who's
you were talking
Caesar's?
about- Sorry?
Who's Caesar's?
Ah, it was someone.
Caesar Teruel.
He was giving talks in Tiruvannamalai in about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Yes, so we went together for some time. I was going there for. Yes.
Carl, right? Not
No,
Carl.
no, it's someone else
No,
from
not Carl, no.
he's from Guatemala or somewhere like that.
No.
So
You were talking about desires. You know, I've heard these interesting, like, I guess, other perspectives on how to deal with, like, things that you like. And one of them, like a Buddhist one, is, like, seeing them as dangerous. You would see them as, like, you know, traps, or, like, you know, they would pull you in, and that usually when we, like, get into desires, the idea is that, you know, we are ignoring the danger. Like, we actually are taking a risk by getting attached to things. We don't know where it's going to lead. And usually it doesn't actually lead anywhere good. So that's like interesting. I wonder what you think about having, like, using fear or like this sort of negative emotion to, you know, get yourself away from, like, getting attached or chasing things.
Yeah. No, that's a very interesting question, and which is not often talked, because it's little delicate. And I found out that the secret is what Krishna said to Arjuna. No, go in the battlefield. Action. Karma yoga. So why? Because I did that many years to stay in my cave and to pull back, and then you feel comfortable. You stay in your comfort zone, right? And you can. My first guru was saying when you can even be 500 years in samadhi, and when you come back, the same idea of a girl you had in your mind will jump at this after 500 years of samadhi. So it means the samskara does not get or still there. So impression in the mind. So the secret, which is action. I will tell you why. You know, I learned that because I'm doing now training as a coach, and coaching is about taking action. And what I like about that is why action, not for a goal. The goal is not the real goal. The goal is a direction. Through the action, your blocks will show up. And that's what we don't want to see when we stay in our cave, in our comfort zone. Maybe we stay in the same job, in the same whatever, because it feels I don't want to go out of this. Something try to pull me out and push me, but I don't want, because something knows it will be painful. I don't want to go through that. So to take action, to find the strength of the soul to go out of that, to take action. It will take out the blocks, samskaras, and then that's a way to, through action, to let them be released. So I would say, when you have a desire, my last master who died a few years ago, when I told him I wanted to record a music album and this, I did it, but it did not happen anything after because I was doing something else for whatever reason. But he said, do it. Whatever I was telling him, he was saying, do it. And it's also, I think, this reason is through action is not the goal which is important, is this understanding. Action is a key. Action is a key. It's your meditation in action. So when you take action, then you allow things to come out and to experience them. Because the basic thing we have to understand is that we push what we don't like and we run after the comfort and we turn back to discomfort. That's a natural attitude of a separate being. And by doing that, we make the wheel of duality turn by wanting only what is good and not what is bad. So if I say I don't want to have this desire because I may have problem, or or it's not good, just because it's something I've been told. But does it make sense to behave like that? Or is it better to do like Arjuna, to go in action and to do it? Because I feel, it's about listening. What I'm listening, do I listen to my conditioned mind or to the pull inside my intuition or my whatever who tell me do that? If you listen to that, you just do it, and you don't listen to the conditioned mind. You say, don't do it, you will have problem, or Buddha said you should not have desire, and this is bullshit. This is the conditioned mind who is talking. Something is your body. When you think about that thing to do, your body is just feel of enthusiasm or joy. You just want, or some other feeling, and just your intuition said, do it. But the mind will say, no, like that. And if we live on this concept of what Buddha said and so on, and we in fact listen to the conditioned mind. So it's important to see that. I think that's how I see it, at least. Does it resonate with you, Riyad?
That's very good. I guess the problem I would have with this is that I don't always know. Like sometimes my intuition does lead me into the right place, but sometimes I feel like maybe it's just like actually emotional conditioning or something. Like it's very difficult for me sometimes, I feel like, to make that distinction. Is it intuition now, or is it like just some, I don't know, random subconscious maybe desire or something, like an impulse, sometimes
Yes,
you do impulsive
yes.
things.
Yes, that's why.
So yeah,
Yes, that's why in coaching we have some techniques because intuition is not always 100%. It can be mixed. So how to, yes, because my view is that intuition is always 100%, but it's covered by some disturbances, some parasites of the mind, of the conditioned mind. But the pull from inside, the gut feeling, intuition. For example, I was doing a job last summer, and which was not fitting. My body just was shaking, and it was like it's not working. My body was speaking; it was so clear. I had no choice even at that point. So when life gives some small messages, sometimes we don't really listen. But when life gives big messages, like a disease or anything, whatever, and then you. Now I understand. It's like life tries to tell you softly, and if not, then now you understand. Like that. So when we are not sure then what to do, we can just maybe, either we have two choices. Either we wait and see, or we take action, and if we do mistake, we learn from them. So in both cases, and at the same time, on the background, we can do this self-inquiry or look who is the doer, who is making a decision. We can do this, stay as, always being this witness consciousness who look at this game, but allow the game to be, if I'm not sure, should I do blah, 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 like that. And even if I take action, who is doing that? So we can always observe from different perspectives like that, but we learn from mistake also. So yes, like I give you an example. Yesterday I will go to Germany. I bought a flight ticket because there was only 2 seats available to see my partner, and I was not sure, but I said okay, I buy the ticket because it was cheap. And yes, sometimes you act like this because there is no choice. So if I did not buy the ticket, then it would be gone. There was no seat, no flight anymore. So every time it's new and fresh. That's the beauty in life also, in a way. But for desires, yes, I think we have to understand it in a right perspective, and not the main thing is to distinguish between what is a conditioned mind. When is it this one we're talking with fear and whatever conditioning, and the more we meditate or observe or aware, we'll know what it is more and more, and learn to not listen to that and listen to the gut feeling if it's possible, but not to be afraid to go in action. My message would be about that, not to be afraid to go in action, because action is like will reveal what it has to reveal. If I stay in my cave, I might stay with all my stuff hidden.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure, I've noticed this too, that it's like you can like have this like perfect environment and everything's set up. You have your little incense, your little da 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 da, little music, and yeah, you feel like really calm and everything's nice. But as soon as there's like some turbulence, then you really see where the mind is, like where are you really? So yeah, I think that's a very good point, that maybe better to take action in some cases. I guess not always, but yeah, in some cases maybe it's better to just go and do it, and yeah, if it's like a neutral thing, if you're not like actually harming anyone, I guess you should have some filter to see is it going to cause somebody harm or something like this, the basic sort of ahimsa stuff, and then you would do it. Yeah, that's actually
if you have the choice, but sometimes your system is just shaking and is just no, it has to happen, whatever, and you just kick the box and and do it, and you say okay, now it's like that, what to do, and it has to move, the situation has to change or to move, and so sometimes it's like that. And yes, so we should not be afraid of action. I think that's what I've been learning, and meditation is good, but meditation in action will reveal what is left in us, which is in the way of the pure energy Shakti to flow freely. So yes, so action, knowledge, and devotion in the sense of being devoted to that, whatever it is, God or the self or consciousness, witness consciousness, devoted to that which is prior to this scenery, which is always there, which is not involved in the movie, to be devoted more and more to that. It may have a form of a master or whatever or not, so depending on the path we are, but it's the same at the end, is to be devoted to that. So also knowledge, to discriminate between the conditioned mind and what is not serving us, and action. So both bhakti, jnana, and karma yoga together.
What do you think about the idea of like emulating? Maybe you're obviously, clearly, if we're asking this question and philosophizing about this, we are looking to have some sort of ultimate perspective, but maybe if we don't have it yet, or we're not established in it, what do you think about like emulating it, like
to repeat a mantra or something like that, for example, you mean?
Not a mantra specifically, but like trying to embody some sort of characteristics that you think this, maybe let's say self or God has, which would be like sort of equanimity or like kindness and things. Do you think it's a good idea to try and emulate that, or it's better just to like be authentic to what you feel and just express what you feel rather than trying to have a specific feeling or like embodying something, like forcing yourself to be a certain way, like being humble or something like this. What do you think about that?
I think for some time we can use this emulating, as you said, to give a direction, because our attention is curved to the outer objects and identified with the subject. So we can use this emulation, as you said. I don't know very much that word, but I understand, I think, what it means. So to emulate that and to bring back attention. This is what we do when we use a mantra or bring back attention to attention itself, or all this would be a practice, a sadhana, basically. Is it not so? Right? But at the same time, to be aligned, be yourself, be authentic. So when I first went to Tiruvannamalai in '94, I was opening this book, Be As You Are. And I had a insight at that time, but it was more a revelation as the self. But after I understood that it's be yourself absolutely, but also relatively. If you're aligned with what you are without listening to the conditioned mind, then you are yourself absolutely and relatively. So to be authentic and aligned to what you are and to love your imperfections. Because consciousness, what you are, is loving everything as it is. So perfection is loving imperfection. So that is surrender to things as they are. So be yourself absolutely and relatively, both together. Does it speak to you?
That's very good. I mean, I guess if you're already like established in the absolute, then it doesn't matter anymore, right? I mean,
but this,
if there is anything else, then that doesn't.
Yes, but as long as it's not the case, we can pretend to have. I have no doership.
Sure.
I have no doership. We can say that.
Yeah.
I am the self. We can say that, but life will test
Right.
you. We meet many people in Tiruvannamalai or anywhere else who say, I'm the self. But so much fakeness. So that's not. I came down from this and to see that no, life will test you again and again. So
I think you're absolutely right. I've definitely been in this trap too. Like, it's also like a mental trap, right? You're like in this. It's also like a conceptual. Actually, it's a conceptual idea. You heard this teaching, you internalize it, you make a concept out of it, you identify with it, and then you're like, you're actually not where the teaching is pointing to, but you're attached to the idea of it. Rather
yes,
than
and then
itself.
it become a cave, and you hide in this cave of I am the self, or like that. And then, but it's by doing that you stop yourself, because you put yourself in a comfort zone, in a cave, but you have a lot of stuff hidden inside, but you just smile and don't say, it's all fine, I'm the self, it's all fine. But
and that's why I think this thing you said about action is also so great, because exactly, action will put you in those situations where you can actually, if you're authentic enough to recognize, of course. If you're if you're completely in denial, maybe you'll never notice. But if you're authentic and open to it, then action will probably reveal a lot of those things to you.
In order to be authentic, we need to develop, in my sense, the ability of to be resilient, I think in English, to bear the discomfort. When a situation or person does something which is not fitting to me, whatever it is, the weather, a person or something, then I feel, I freak out. I feel something and I tend to suppress or express. But in between, there is a place where we can let it be and feel it. That is the strength of the soul, the will of the soul, which allows that to be experienced. And then the samskara can be experienced without judgment and can live. Maybe it will have to be done number of times before to be fully relieved, this samskara, but by practicing, by not trying to control it or pretending that I am done or whatever. So to be authentic and to be open, to learn to I have been this year in Tiru in February. I have gone through very terrible energies, and I was surrendering through that, and then it was become like blessings. But it's not the purpose to get blessings, but to surrender, to not resist, to go through this immense, terrible energy which is unbearable. But when you can say yes to that and open and say yes, that's how they can go. So we should not be afraid to feel anything, because what we are is untouchable. We think we'll die, and the Mara or the devil will tell you, oh, you cannot, will die, you cannot feel that, oh, like that. But what we are cannot be touched. If we have this conviction and faith in God or self or whatever, we stand in front of the face of the devil, the most difficult energy we can imagine. It cannot touch you. That's what happened to Buddha also. Mara was sending an army of soldiers to kill him with fire, and Buddha was standing in this movie, like that. So that is that. This power will send a lot of testing energy and stuff but to learn to not avoid anything. That is how.
I like this. I think this is very, very good point. That's not often talked about, I feel like.
Yes, I think this is the next step in spirituality, to come to apply it. Not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. Yes. So, yes, and I'm very happy to share that.
Interesting question. Like, why do we avoid pain in the first place? Why do we say it's bad?
Because we don't like it. It's not pleasant. But the trap is by having a preference, we create duality. Now,
exactly.
This very moment, we create duality, which is an illusion in truth, but we create it by having a preference of pleasure rather than pain, comfort rather than discomfort. This choice maker is creating duality and is creating the me. So,
but there's no good reason to avoid pain, really, is there?
But behind there is.
I mean, there's really no.
But the power behind, there is the power who creates this duality. So how it works? This wheel of duality. If there is no preference, it stops. Then the wheel is seen as this duality is seen as not real. So it has to perpetuate itself. It has to put more fire on it to say, yes, this is bad, this is good, yes, I should avoid this, I should control that. So the mind is always busy on the surface to not feel the discomfort, so is busy to try to avoid. And in that way, this power perpetuates this game.
So it's like a built-in kind of mechanism.
Yes.
Into the system.
Yes, exactly. So if we learn to step back from that and to observe how it works, and realize I am not in it. What I am is not in it. Now I am this undisturbed consciousness or peace, which is witnessing that game. So
and there's no reason to avoid pain, because like pain can also, bring positive things or like manifest as good things in the end. You endure pain for whatever reason, and it might be something good that comes from
it's good to say what you say, because again it's too different between the conditioned mind and with a full of judgment what is good and bad, or the emotional mind, conditioned mind, and the practical mind. So it's good to know that the fire is burning. Why it's good? To avoid to be burned, right? So it's a practical.
And one more thing. When you are in pain, you are all the time thinking about the divine. You are surrendering. And when you are in pleasure, you forget.
So yes, you can use it that way, to surrender to a higher power.
So like in my case, then I'm all the time thinking, I'm surrendering. This is my plan.
That is
I'm surrendering. Everything will be fine. So that
is your blessing.
That is the pain gives you surrenderance and remembrance of the divine, of the master.
It's like if God is sitting by your side and he's taking your ears like that and he press it from like that.
If there is a big something bad is to be happen, like a big accident, something, even a master takes it away with a prick. See, if anything worse situation, And when you are an initiate, master takes it in a very small stride, in a
Yeah.
prick. Means it can give a prick, and that is how it is resolved.
Yeah, I translate it a bit for you, Riyad, because Nilima speak about our master, and in this tradition they speak about changing the karma. But it's still in the realm of dream, but it's this changing karma and stuff. But yes, she was talking about that. Yes, but coming back to
Ramana also had this removing a thorn with another thorn, right? Sort of also similar idea, is it?
No. Ramana is self-inquiry. So you use the self-inquiry to remove the thorn of the ego, of the I. That was about that. But what we said before about yes, to distinguish, to discriminate between the practical mind and the conditioned mind or emotional mind or whatever, which is the part which is not healthy, right? Who make us confuse, identified with this one as a separate entity. But a saint or a person who is identified use the same practical mind to discriminate fire which is burning and not to put the end in it. So in that, this discrimination is healthy, right? Practical. But the other one is the one who keep us lost in the realm of duality and take it for real. That is where we have to discriminate, to sharpen our view and to discriminate like that. You understand? It's yes. So there is something which is discriminating between bad and good, which is useful, and we need to use it in this realm. But we can look as that which is having a preference in terms of, for example, Nilima has a pain in his feet for many years, and
2 years.
2 years. So she see it now as a blessing more and more. At the beginning less, but now she has been opening more and more in this surrendering, and now she see it more as a blessing because she think about God, her master, or like that. So shift attention in another direction, right? So we can use it like that as an awakener. And the idea is to rise, to understand. I think you were not there. I was saying that in deep sleep we don't feel pain and pleasure, right? So in the same way, our nature, our self does not feel that. It's only the prana, the body, and the mind, ego mind, who feel pain and pleasure. So what we have to realize is what is not trapped in this play of this pain and pleasure. Inside, inwardly, in a way to say. We can say there is no inside, outside, but inwardly something which is not going in that game, but outwardly, as a person, we have to use this practical sense of discrimination between good and bad for the purpose of practical needs. So this is what we have to look carefully, and not we confuse both. So that is why meditation, self-inquiry, or karma yoga, all this will be tools to uncover this and to know what is what.
What do you think about restraint? There's a lot of temptations in this world, especially nowadays. This stuff is very easily accessible, distraction, whatever you can find online, right?
Yes.
What do you think about this idea of trying to still use some sort of control, controlling your impulses while also doing self-inquiry, and sort of mixing them both? How important do you think it is?
So that would be to go beyond, to find a will which is bigger than the will of the mind, and that's the will of consciousness which is higher than the mind. So the mind is attracted by some things, and if we want to not involve in that, then we have to use a will which is more powerful. to not go there, right? And if we want to go in some place which is not, we feel we don't want to go, which is not healthy, so we can learn again, it is the same technique, is to bear the discomfort. Because we will go there because we don't want to feel the discomfort, so we will go there to avoid to feel the discomfort again, right? But if we, instead of going out from subject to object, to go out, we stay and allow the discomfort to be there and find this will power of the soul to stay there as a witness and allow the disturbance to be there. But the intention has to be strong. It's a question of like a balance, weight. The weight which is stronger, the more will go down, right? So same, if our attention is stronger than the attraction of the mind, it will win. But if the intention is less, then the mind will win. So we can use this will and check ourselves and what is my intention, my deepest intention of the soul behind the mind. Yes. But in this, it's important to not judge ourselves, to not be guilty, because it's whatever we experience is not personal. Millions of people experience the same thing at the same moment, so it's not personal, right? But we can do that and just use this willpower to go over that. And if not, then we are gentle with ourselves, no judgment, no guiltiness. It's not useful. I say, okay, now I see where it was going wrong, and my intention is not strong enough. So it's lower than the power of the mind. So when the intention will grow stronger, then it can have the power to stay without not going out. Does it speak to you?
Yeah, I guess I'm interested in how do you think you would grow that willpower? How do you think you would increase that intention in like a spiritual practice sense?
Like this, practicing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
but it can take time, but there is no other way, People like Ramana Maharishi or whoever, they had some luggage with them. I mean, there were some souls who were quite mature, so we cannot pretend to. We have some work to do in a way, not
Right.
to, in the sense not to do a sadhana like that, but to,
Mm-hmm.
in the opposite, to open up, to stop fighting, to stop controlling, to be ourselves and authentic, and to allow anything to be experienced and to go through that with yes. So practice in daily life, and use daily life as a field of practice. And so it's different from people to people. Like I heard someone saying, some very ripe souls, they come and their practice is like a rocket. So their inner state is such that they don't need to go through all this karma. But most of us is different. We have not this like a rocket, so we go more slow, but it's as it is. But
It's like you could look at it like a process of maturity. In a
yes,
sense.
to let it happen, because who is, again, you can join self-inquiry in that, and who is doing it,
Yeah.
who want it to be more quick or more slow or this. So just let it as it be. You are this absolute consciousness who is experiencing this evolution, So as self, you are not disturbed by the evolution, but you also don't stop the evolution to be as it is. Why not? So it's all, yes, the play of God, and yes. So surrender, and so the beauty is, I found the real beauty of all that is, whether you are a very ripe soul who come and be like a rocket in this lifetime, like Ramana at the age of 16 or whoever, Or if you're slow souls like maybe Earth, surrender is the same. When you really surrender to what is as it is, you surrender to your any state, then surrender is not different. Surrender is surrender. So you surrender to a slow motion, a quick motion, or to evolution or whatever. It's just, it is as it is. You know, I am that I am, like God said in the Bible. I am that I am. It is as it is, and it evolves as it evolves, and I am not in it. You know, so I allow the character to experience anything, but I am this witness consciousness who is seeing all that. So it's a mix of good and bad news. Now, in truth, it doesn't matter really, because it's not really happening, this dream of time and space, but it appears. So now we cannot say just it's a dream. We experience it and we see how it works, and now we can.
Yeah, that dream thing is also interesting. Ramana speaks about that a lot, right? Like there's arguments that he has with people who like say that it's not a dream because it's longer and etc. But then, you know, he says that's the only difference between a dream and like the waking state, is that the waking state is longer. But otherwise, it's exactly the same.
Maybe probably would be able to change our perspective according to the person you talk, because nothing is absolutely true. So it's also possible to change perspective according to whoever you are talking to, and to someone. A master could say, no, this is not a dream, don't, and the next talk he will say, this is a dream, or, if, you know, nothing is absolutely true. If we want to make it in a box, so is it really a dream or not? You know, I want to be sure. So it's just a mental concept. So, yes. Anybody else? Hans, you want to share a little bit something? I'm missing you. I think Poonam has gone, yes. So our meeting is a mix of people. Poonam who's from California, someone from India, from Germany. So it's, and yes, we are few people.
I'm fighting to be concentrated. I'm always like in a meditation, falling almost asleep and fighting against it. And today I'm not so fit.
You are tired.
Yeah, you can call it tired, yeah. Or unconcentrated.
Good. Hey, you know, it's also to welcome, you know, see, this happen, a state of confusion or whatever. Also, who is experiencing that, the state of confusion? Is the same self, you know? So if you get into that more and more to say, yes, one of the most beautiful sentences I heard from a lady in Tiruvannamalai, Gangama, who is a beautiful lady, she said, the self cannot be experienced because it is in all experiences. So I think it clarifies a lot of things. You see, you experience, whatever you experience, you are the experiencer of anything. Confusion, clarity, to be a Buddha, whatever. Yeah, it's all. So it is in all experiences. So it's uncatchable. You are that, but it's uncatchable.
We are talking about things that you can't talk about at the end. You're trying to, you're scratching on the surface, and but as soon as you try to get deeper,
that's right.
Again,
yes,
it's not real. Yeah.
Yes.
So and that's exactly a space where the mind is trying to get hold on,
yes,
touch on. And if you say, no, I'm not letting you touch, then you kind of almost fall into sleep. It's interesting to watch it.
Yes.
That's why I was so silent, and I was.
Yeah, it's always just pointers. Words will remain pointers. But what I learned is that it depends from where it coming from. If 10 people say I'm the self, it will not resonate the same depending on the place it's talking from. So rather than the word, it's more from where it's coming from. You know, that's why people who had so much power like Ramana or others, or Ishwapuri, or it's not really what they say, it's the space from where they are talking from. And again, in coaching we was learning that the verbal language is only 5 to 10%. So when you meet someone or a client or in any situation, you know, what is below the iceberg is more than 90%. So what you say is not the main point. Is what is below the iceberg, more than 90%. So if you keep this in mind, you know, it's the words are only pointers. It especially, so it's point to something, but it also depends from where it's talking from. In my sense.
Iber? You said Iber. What's that?
Huh?
Iber?
Huh?
Iceberg.
Iceberg.
Ah,
Iceberg.
yeah,
Yes.
of course.
Yes. Sorry, I'm
I
French.
got it. Yeah. But you don't mean it when you say sorry.
Yes. So that's why, you know, we can become aware of that, you know, when we are with people and we feel disturbance, or because there is so much that we can feel without being the words which are talked. So it's not only the appearance, yes, it's what is behind, from where it's sprouting from. Yes. So it's more, you know, my first guru, I remember he was saying, you know, in satsang, people, when you talk, someone talk, and it's more like mind is talking to the mind to attract attention. But something else is talking to something else secretly. So it's like that. So in the good sense, I mean, not in manipulation sense, but yes, that could be misunderstood. So maybe you have anything else to share or ask, or we'll stop soon. But if you want
to drop off.
Yes. So we stop here. Riyad, nice to meet you, and wish you all the best. And don't hesitate to contact me in private if you like. We can be in touch. I'm very open to that. I'm very happy if you want. Yes. So nice to see you guys, and all the best. See you next time. Ciao, ciao. Namaste.
Bye.
Recording stopped.